Welcome everybody. My name is Emmy and I am a CZT. I'm real excited to be here with you today, friends, on Zen with Emmy on the YouTube channel. We've been doing Inktober together and having a very good time, in my opinion. I know you have too, because I've seen you from different times with your wonderful projects and the cool things you're doing. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you taking the time to come back. I'm going to use my usual supplies. I may not need my 05 today, but I've got it handy, so I'm just going to keep it around. I've got my eraser. I hope I don't need that. And I've got my blender stump and my pencil. I'm going to start off, as I often and usually do, in my creativity book. And because I like to practice before I do a final, and I know you do too. I believe that we should, or I need to do in pencil first before I go over to pen. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do a couple of, maybe 3 wide-ish, and it can be heavy, doesn't matter. I want it to be heavy for you to be able to see it, and then I'm going to do a second pencil line. And then I'm going to do a third pencil line. The way I work, it's better if I make some boxes here. So I'm going to make a pencil line down. And this can be any width apart that you like. It doesn't have to be precise, okay? I'm going to make another one. Kind of like I'm playing tic-tac-toe with one of my grandkids, right? At the dinner table, I'm sure you do that too, whether you're home or away. All right, I have a really nice grid here, and I believe that will help me when I make this very fun pattern. The first thing I'm gonna do is some zigzags. I'm gonna zig and zag, zig and zag, and that's where it's gonna end. I'm gonna do another row, mirroring the first row. I'm going to do another row. And I don't have room for any more, but if I did, I'd do another one. Next thing I'm going to do is I really like to do a very small aura around the top row of zigzags. Take your time and put that in there if you like. No, you don't have to. This is practice, remember. Alrighty, the next thing I want to do is on the peaks, I'm going to bring a line down on each of the peaks. I'm going to bring a line down on the next peak. And skipping only on the peaks, bring the line down. Now in between, where the valleys are, I'm going to bring a line up. So next thing I'm going to do is put some sort of a cute little ornament in here, in each of the hang down ones. Like, look at, here's one cute one. You could do a smallish orb with 3 or 4 or 5 smallish orbs around it. Like that. Or you could do a heart. Or you could, this is kind of like dangles, don't you think? You could do a diamond. Or you could do a biggish orb, make a cute little diamond in the inside, and maybe you'll do these things around it. Take a minute and do a couple of these so that you have some samples for yourself when you get ready to do your final. Okay, so I don't have a ton of room on this one. So what I'm going to decide I'm going to do is just hearts. And I'm doing this on all of the down arrows. So from the peak and then the line, so right below it on this one, I'm going to do another heart. Right below that, I'm on the peak again, and the line that I drew in there, drawing another heart. You see another line below, drawing a heart. Again here, drawing a heart. Now here's where the fun comes in with this pattern. I believe I need to turn my paper totally around so that you can get an idea. So now these are the down ones. So I'm going to come along here and draw a heart. Another one. Draw a heart. And I certainly could do it on this one too. Draw another heart. That one ended up to be kind of small and kind of what I'd say dinky. So what I would like to do with this here is just add a treatment, a series of smallish sticks. As you can see, I'm moving kind of quickly because it's just my scrapbook here, right? I always like the look of this. And it kind of gives the illusion that this is the start of the pattern up here by having a cutoff. If you get what I mean. So what I'd like to do now is grab my eraser. And I'm going to erase all those lines in here. If you have an eraser handy, go ahead and get rid of them. If you don't worry about it. They were just to guide us anyway. What do you think? Isn't this cute? I made one for you, a finished sample. And so I thought maybe you'd like to see. And I did put a lot of shading on this. And it ended up to be kind of a cross between hearts and just orbs with a kind of a teardrop going around each. And then I decided to block in both the top and the bottom. So, grabbing our books today, our wonderful books that we're working on. Day 27. Woohoo! I hope you're having as much fun as I am. So I've got this cute, cute, cute pattern to follow. And I probably, now that I've done this once, am okay with not having, and I won't have as much room, as you know, no matter what direction, although I could go diagonal, but then I'd lose some on either end. So I am still going to put a couple of lines in here in pencil. To make the pattern, I really need to do 3. And I don't want to go too tight in here because we have a pattern we're going to put in between the margins. So I've got my 3 rows. And now, because it makes sense to me, I'm going to put my diagonal lines, or finish my squares. Now I can, because I've got such a small area, I can do 1, 2, 3, or I could do 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do either way, right? So let's try it this way. Just do 1, 2, 3. I really could go all the way to the wall here. My next pattern is going to be all right, and it would allow for that. Why don't I do that? You see what I'm doing? I'm connecting this last one here so that I have a zigzag and a zigzag. So right below it, remember, we're going to do the same kind of zigzag. Up. And this is definitely something that mirrors the first one. And down. And let's do row 3. So I find that if I have made myself a grid box, that my lines are a lot better. And you might find now the lines are confusing. I don't know. If they are, erase them. So let's take a minute and make that tiny aura line up above. And down below. Make an aura line down here too. Love it. Okay, remember from the peaks, we're going to hang a stick. From the peak, hang a stick. And so right below it, hang another one. And right below it, hang another one. And we won't have room in here for another one, I don't believe. So from the valley, not that one, bring one up, a stick up, and a stick up from that valley, and from here. And that will be all we'll get, although we can do the outside if you like. So I think that I'm going to probably do that teardrop shape. You should make whatever design appeals to you, because remember how we had a lot of examples of fun teardrops to do, or fun shapes. What a sweet pattern, huh? The CZT that designed this pattern said she was at her daughter's house looking at her curtains, and pretty soon she was deconstructing the pattern from the curtains. Now you and I have both had many chances to do these things too. So if we can do the basic steps of Zentangle, the C, the slash, the dot, the orb, if we can do these, then we can deconstruct just about any pattern that we should see. God, that's cute. I might leave it here, or I might put another line around it. Not really sure. I don't know. I guess I'll leave it. If you're with me, grab your eraser and get rid of all of those grid marks. I'm sure you didn't have to do them as dark as I did, so yours will come off of there much, much easier than mine will. And I'm using my gum eraser, and I'm sure you've got the perfect eraser, even though we don't erase much in Zentangle, do we? It's just not the way this hobby is made. It's so cute. Let's get some shading on here. Where I like to shade is on the bottom of each of these peaks. And the bottom of the middle peak. And the top of the bottom peak. Gee, I hope that makes sense to you. Give you a minute to catch up with me. The shading that's the super important one, of course, is the two ends. And I don't like to spread it out and smudge it out on this particular thing. I want this white to stay white in here, or paper color. Whatever my paper color is. This gives an illusion of roundedness to the inside. I hope that you can see how that becomes almost rounded in there. Cute, cute, cute. Why don't we take a minute, because I believe we have just a second, and would you like to take a minute and put these smallish lines in there? I think I'm going to go ahead and do that with your permission, if you'll stick with me. I just think they're so cool. I love this. So take a minute just to get your Zen on. It's a very, very quick process. Just remember to relax your shoulders. And let's do this bottom one too. These little striping treatments add such a lot to the process and to the design, I think. It gives people's eye a place to go, and it kind of stops your eye from going below or above this cute pattern. I sure hope you like it. Voila, as my granddaughter would say. Very, very fun. I know that you'll have an extra minute or two, so you go ahead and finish on your own at your own speed. And please take a minute to share this video and to like it too if you do, and I sure hope you like it. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Emmy, and you're on Zen with Emmy. And I hope you come back, and I hope to see you tomorrow for day 28. Woohoo! Bye.